Kiesza. I'm a singer. I did the song Hideaway. You may have seen it, where I was dancing down the street in one take, and it went worldwide. And now, for the quarantine, Roots of Inspiration with Vite. They are supporting musicians, and they are bringing people together to talk about inspiration. So I write my music, and I'm very involved in all the creative processes that I do, the music videos, pretty much everything. So I was going to talk a little bit about inspiration with you, but I wanted to start by singing you a song. So I'm going to flip around. I'm here with, in quarantine, with two people, one of them being Adam. Guitar player, Adam. Cool. So we're going to sing you. Hopefully you can see me.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So this is a song called Sweet Love. It came out last year, and I'm actually really excited to sing this. I don't get to sing it a lot. This is Sweet Love. Open up my window, let a little wind blow. You catch my drift. Meet me on the side, go deep into my shadows. Grant yourself a wish. Give yourself a break, we're making a mistake, but maybe that's okay for us. Have a little fun, don't worry when we're done, won't matter when we wake up. Lay a lie down, to the light of that down, lie down. Lay a lie down, oh, to the light of that down, lie down. Now we're breaking rules, but they ain't breaking us. Cause it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love. Might be cheating fools, but there's no cheating us. Cause it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love. Oh, want me for a moment, leave me alone. I know that you want this. Baby, if it's hopeless, might as well be reckless. Scratch it off your checklist. It won't be enough pretending it ain't what we want. We'll only want more. Let it just be up now. Have a little trust. Give your body what it's hoping for. Lay a lie down. To the light of that down, lie down. Lay a lie down. To the light of that down, lie down. Now we're breaking rules, but they ain't breaking us. Cause it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love. Might be cheating fools, but there's no cheating us. Cause it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love. It's all I want, it's all I want. The only one can be undone. You're all I want, you're all I want. Can be undone. And this we want, yeah. Now we're breaking rules, but they ain't breaking us. Cause it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love. Might be cheating fools, but there's no cheating us. Cause it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love. Yeah, 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 ooh, ooh. Yeah, it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love, such sweet love. Yeah, I'm gonna come back around for a second. Give it up for Adam Agati. How did you like that? I've got two more for you, so don't go away. This is Proton. He actually likes to sing. We have to contain him while I sing. So that was Sweet Love. I put that out last year. And that song actually, believe it or not, talk about inspiration. I'm a big part of inspiration to me is mixing it up. I find inspiration comes from stepping outside your comfort zone most of the time in the biggest way. So believe it or not, that song was written with a baritone opera singer. And it sounds like it's like an acoustic pop song, but I was working with an opera singer on a different song, and I was like, hey, why don't you come into the studio and let's do a songwriting session? And he was like, I don't write songs. And I was like, well, until now you don't. And he came into the studio with me, and we wrote Sweet Love together. And that was the first song he had ever like officially written out, especially outside of opera music. So I like to mix it up a lot. Like I might bring in a classical piano player and write something, or in this case, I'm writing a lot of music with Adam right now. I find a lot of people who are really good at specializing at what they do. For example, Adam's been playing guitar forever, and he way outdoes me on the guitar. So when we get together, I mean, melody and lyrics are my specialty, but he can play things that I couldn't even dream of playing. So when it comes together, we just come up with all these ideas that I couldn't have come up with separately. So I really do encourage a lot of collaboration. I think that's one of the most inspiring things for me. And I always find that people, like when you're flexible and open with people and open to shifting your own ideas, that's when you get the coolest stuff. So another inspiring story, I mean, I've had to go through recently is I was in a car crash 2.5 years ago, and so my whole career came about when a song of mine went very, very, very viral online called Hideaway. If you've seen it, I'm dancing down the street in Brooklyn and people are jumping out from all over the place and we're dancing, and it went huge. There's 2 links online and it's probably over 600 million views now. And I went from being a songwriter behind the scenes for other people to suddenly being an international artist overnight practically. And it was quite a shift, but everything was going amazing. And then suddenly one day I was in Canada, in Toronto, in an Uber, and I was T-boned by a taxi. I was in the back seat and I got a brain injury and totally derailed my career. And I was in recovery for 2.5 years, recovering from a brain injury. And I'm actually kind of back now for the first time ever releasing new music. I'm finally at a place where I'm able to come back. But that brings me to the next part of inspiration, is actually pushing yourself. When you feel like you have limits, pushing yourself past those limits and not overdoing it. I think a lot of us get intimidated when we want to start something. Like, for example, if you want to start the guitar, a lot of people want to pick up the guitar and be the best guitar player right away, and they get swayed by the fact that they have to put in the effort and put in the work and push themselves and go through pain, go through blisters or calluses, sore fingers. You have to build muscle. You have to, honestly, like the beginning of everything isn't usually fun. It's tedious. And so you have to get through this whole tedious process. For me, coming back to my career was very tedious. I had to go into recovery. I had to do physiotherapy. I was in the chiropractors. I was with neuroscientists all the time, and none of that was fun. But it was so important for me to come back to my career that I did all of that. So be willing to do the things that aren't fun. You have to, and there's always a lot of that. Even when you're making it, like for example, when I was touring every year, I was on a tour bus. I'd say out of the 24 hours in a day, the 1 hour that I was on stage, that was the best of it. But then there's the other 23 hours of like getting up early, getting onto a flight, having no sleep, being in a freaking bus, with 12 other people that don't always smell amazing. Because once you've been on a bus for a while, you don't always smell good. And so you got to be willing to do the hard stuff. And that brings inspiration. Honestly, right now, being in quarantine and being isolated in my own house for 3 weeks now, with the same people, and we all love each other, but at the same time that's challenging. But we've come up with some of the best songs ever, like that we never would have written otherwise. And it's just by simply being in sort of an uncomfortable, trapped position and trying to make the worst of it. No, trying to make the best of it. So, yeah. So I'm gonna play you another song. I kind of like the going back and forth. Maybe play one more. I'll come back. So I'm gonna play you the song that some of you might know if you know me. You don't know me. No, you do. Only this is the acoustic version. Normally it's a house dance tune. Maybe up a little bit?
Sure.
Perfect. Taking me higher than I've ever been before. Holding it back, just wanna shout out, give me more. You're just a hideaway, you're just a feeling. You let my heart escape beyond the meaning. Not even I can find a way to stop the storm. Oh baby, it's out of my control what's going on. But you're just a chance I take to keep on dreaming. You're just another day that keeps me breathing. Baby, I love the way that there's nothing sure. Baby, don't stop me, hide away with me some more. Ooh, yeah. You send a shiver up my spine, my overload. You bring me closer to the edge of letting go. But you're just a hideaway, you're just a feeling. You let my heart escape beyond the meaning. I'm putting my head into the clouds, I'm floating on. When you get me going, I can't find a way to stop. But you're just a chance I take to keep on breathing. You're just another day that keeps me dreaming. Baby, I love the way that there's nothing sure. Baby, don't stop me, hide away with me some more. Ooh, ooh, yeah. You bring me higher than I've ever been before. I'm holding it back, just wanna shout out really more. But you're just a hideaway, you're just a feeling. You let my heart escape beyond the meaning. I put my head into the clouds, I'm floating on. When you get me going, I can't find a way to stop. No, but you're just a chance I take to keep on dreaming. You're just another day that keeps me breathing. Baby, I love the way that there's nothing sure. Baby, don't stop me, hide away with me some more. Ooh, baby, I love the way that there's nothing sure. Baby, don't stop me, hide away with me some more. Yay, thank you, coming back. Hi. Proton literally loves to sing so much we have to like have somebody holding him and like getting him watch. Oh! Whoops, sorry. He usually howls, wait. So we literally Good job. Yeah, so he has this pig ear and he gets it when I sing. So that he's not howling the whole time. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. I have one more coming. It's the new single. which is exciting. And I got another single dropping on next week. End of next week. New song. Okay, so I guess I just wanted to talk a little more, since we're talking about inspiration, about people that inspire me. I get inspired not only by musicians, I get inspired by all types of artists. I'm into surrealism like crazy, so, and I don't know if it's cliche, but I was hugely inspired by Salvador Dali growing up and all his wild ideas. I paint as well. And as a musician, as a performer, I was really inspired by performing musicians like Michael Jackson and James Brown, and big vocalists like Barbra Streisand, believe it or not. My mom was really into Barbra Streisand, and my dad was really into theater, like Andrew Lloyd Webber playing Evita on the piano. So I have a big theatrical background too, and that seeps into my music. I have a whole theater series that I'm doing where I dress up as dark villains and dark fairy tales. So I'm releasing that one video at a time. I'll be releasing one for Halloween this year. But yeah, like a big part of creativity and inspiration is actually loading yourself up. So when you're actually creating, it's very condensed. It's like very concentrated. When you're getting inspiration, it's the opposite. I call it decentrating. It's the opposite of concentrating. It's expanding and being open. It's like putting all your antennas out and receiving information, and you have to let go of all of your own opinions and your own ideas and everything that you think you know. While you're gaining more insight and more inspiration, you have to let all of that go so that you're not receiving with a preconception of what it is that you're getting. You have to be open to change and changing your own opinion and going down a different road, and especially to evolve as an artist. If some of you are musicians and artists, the most important thing about being an artist is actually the evolution of your career. Because if you stay in one place, there's no movement. You'll fall off the ship, basically. You have to always be changing, and it's a really challenging thing for a lot of musicians, because once you find something and once it clicks and once it works, you kind of want to stay there. It's like safety. It's like, okay, this is who I am. This is my identity. I found it. But the thing is people want to move. People want to change. Your fan base wants you to evolve, and you have to evolve. So to do that, you have to constantly be listening to more music, expanding your own antennas and receiving inspiration and collecting things that inspire you enough. You have to collect so much information that you can put it together in your own unique way, in a way that is you. So, but that comes from being inspired by others, and basically like a kaleidoscope, taking what's there, breaking it apart, and putting it together in a new way. So I don't know if that's helpful to you all. What painting of Dali is my favorite? The Flight of... I really like... that's a hard one. I forget the name of the one with the rose, where the rose is really centered in the middle. I should know his names better. I used to know them all by heart, but or the Flight of the Bee in the Dream. I'm getting them all wrong. And I love the elephants with the long legs. It's really hard to like pick a favorite by Dali. I'm really into his photography too, believe it or not. All his weird concepts beyond painting. He's kind of like Da Vinci. He did a lot more than his paintings, which were his most famous art. Oh, I love The Persistence of Memory by Dali. Look at you. Look at you with all your Dali knowledge. Music is connecting us. Oh, that is so true. On that note, actually, that's a perfect note. I'm going to sing you guys one more song. How do you feel about that? I just put this one out recently, and when I was in LA, before all of this pandemic broke out, just before, actually, I just got together. Here's inspiration for you. Sometimes you just have to be in the moment and just let things happen. So I had this song and I didn't have a video, and things were starting to break out. This whole pandemic was just beginning. It hadn't even hit the US yet, but it was getting there. I was wondering if I should go back to Canada and camp out in my home country. And so on a day's notice, some friends and I was just like, I don't have a video for my next single, and I don't think I can stay here much longer because I think I have to go back to my country. So we're like, whatever, let's just make a video tomorrow. And we shot the whole music video on iPhones. Sorry, on one iPhone. We just went on Craigslist. We found the cheapest limo we could find, and we were inspired by Music by Madonna, her music video. I wanted to do an ode to Madonna. So the beginning of my music video is a bit of an ode to that. And I got my friends together. We all just pooled our heads together, talk about collaboration, whipped out an iPhone and a spotlight, a flashlight, and like, it was like a no budget video, but it looks amazing. But the video for the song All of the Feelings, I'll type that in for you. It literally is something that you yourself could just do on your iPhone. So I'm gonna play this one next. So this one came out, and then this week, I'm releasing another song called Crave, which I'm not gonna play today because it's not out yet, but definitely look forward to that because it's like one of my favorites ever. Oh, my manager's on here, Lubalicious. She says quarantine session is lit. Thanks, Luba. Okay, so give it up for Adam one more time, everyone. Something don't make sense. That feeling that I get when you touch my body. How do you know what I want? Like lightning creeping in, electric on my skin, you all up on me. Maybe that's how two becomes one. Dance with the devil up inside of my head, telling me to run 'cause you're not gonna make that. It's true, yeah, it's true. All my emotions written on my face, can't run from you, stop me dead in my face. You do, you do, you do, you do. I'm getting all the feelings back. You make me believe in love again. Yeah, I'm getting all the feelings back. You make me believe in love again. I believe in love again. Dancing next to you, I can't wait to undo everything on you. Baby, you know what I want, 'cause I can't control myself. I'm gonna need some help down there. So let's make two become one. Dance with the devil up inside of my head, telling me to run 'cause you're not gonna be dead. It's true, yeah, it's true. All my emotions written on my face, can't run from me, step me dead in my face. You do, you do, you do, you do. I'm getting all the feelings back. You make me believe in love again. Yeah, I'm getting all the feelings back. You make me believe in love again. I believe in love again. I believe in, I believe in love. I believe in love. I believe in love. I believe in, I believe in love. I believe in love. I believe in love. Yeah, I believe in love. I believe in love. 'Cause I believe in love. I do. And I believe in love. Yeah. Well, I'm getting all the feelings back. You make me believe in love again. Yeah, I'm getting all the feelings. Oh, back. You make me believe in love again. I believe in love again. I believe in, I believe in love. I believe in love. I believe in love. I believe in love. I believe in, I believe in love. I believe in love. I believe in love. I believe in love. Yeah, I believe in love. I believe in love. Ooh, I believe in love. And guys, right now it's all about love and coming together. So I think that's a really good song to end on. I'm gonna come back around one more time. Give it up for Adam. Thank you, Adam, so much. And talk about inspiration. Here in quarantine, I was like, how do I innovate coffee? And I took flax seeds I ground them up in my coffee grinder, and I mixed them with the coffee grinds, and I pressed them into all the coffee and everything, and it came out with this like rich silk, like smooth, oily coffee. That's not oily, that's a bad word. Smooth, with all the omegas of the freshly ground flax seeds mixed in to my coffee. And it's like a vegan, I'm not vegan, but it's kind of like a vegan bulletproof coffee. And Adam, did you like it?
I loved it.
I just made it for the first time and he loved it.
I loved it.
So Floffy is a real thing now.
Floppy.
You can be inspired in all areas of your life. I hope you guys have really enjoyed this session. It's been an honor to sing for you and to come on Vibe's page for Roots of Inspiration. Definitely right now with the quarantine and the entertainment business, there's a lot of people struggling right now. So I really just want to thank Vibe for supporting musicians. And I'm going to just run. Oh, somebody said, yay, Adam. And somebody said, yeah, Adam. I'm going to go through the coffee. I'm not go through the coffee, the comments. First time I'm hearing this version of All the Feelings. You guys are amazing. Thanks. This made my day. Oh, that's exactly why we're here, to make your day. So that makes me feel so happy. Really cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Vibe. Powered up, inspired to face week number 3. Can you believe it? It's crazy. Week number 3. I know. But just, you guys, I want to say one thing. So quarantining is actually not a new thing for me because I've just come out of a 2-year quarantine, in a sense, social quarantine, by being injured and having to basically lie in bed for almost 2 years recovering. And I found it very hard to have to just sit there and not doing anything. But the best thing that I learned, and it takes time, but you just collect all your energy inside yourself and you just really center it in your body and just find that peaceful place within yourself. And I try to move all the energy out of my head and just, again, like open up that channel, because when you do have the opportunity, and right now we have the opportunity to step back and to relax and to not be surging our energy out all over the place. We can collect everything and we can receive a lot of information right now. And it's a really good time to be creating. So I really encourage people to embrace that about this time and make the most of this. I always say, try to find the axis, the positive of every negative. So I hope you can walk away with that. And thank you so much. And one more goodbye to Adam. Wave.
See you guys. Take care. Be safe.
Take care. And thanks again, Vibe.